Hello, 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 everyone. I think this is my 5th review. I have 15 more of these to go. I have 10 more movies to watch. I am tired, but we continue nonetheless. Okay, here we go. Stars at Noon is the 15th film directed by acclaimed French filmmaker Claire Denis. It stars Margaret Qualley, Joe Alwyn, and a surprise, Benny Safdie. I have only seen 1/3 of her filmography, starting with High Life, which I saw in theaters in 2019. It played at the New York Film Festival in 2018, but that's besides the point. I love the movie. It's awesome. I would recommend you all see it. Then I saw Let the Sunshine In, which I was indifferent toward, but I'm gonna give it another shot in the future. There's something about that film that I keep going back to and I remember it. Then I saw White Material either this year or last year, and it's my least favorite of hers that I've seen so far. I don't know why you would cast Isabelle Huppert only to show the back of her head for most of her screen time. Thought that was kind of weird. Then for the Letterboxd challenge for the New York Film Festival, I saw Beau Travail, which played at this festival in 1999, and that film is my favorite of hers so far. It's breathtaking, hypnotic, minimal dialogue, and above all, it's arresting. I think it's funny that she actually shot that film and White Material in Africa, and Marvel Studios, owned by Disney, could not be bothered to do the same thing for Black Panther, a $250 million movie. Oh well. Anyway, I walked into Stars at Noon pretty excited because considering all the films I briefly went over just now, this film could have gone in any direction, but unfortunately, that direction was boring. I will give this film credit though. It starts off pretty strong. It's aggressive, it's mysterious, there's a lot of sex scenes, so that's bound to wake you up, but after we get settled in the story, it doesn't take off in an interesting way. And that unfortunately turns into an aimless, random, and uncompelling second half of the film. Now, there are a couple of bright spots along the way. I will say that even though I previously described that the direction that this film went into was boring, I was never physically bored. Like, I was never like, when is this film gonna end? I was genuinely curious where this film was going, and it never went anywhere, and so I was just like, okay. So like in retrospect, to me, this film is boring, but like in the actual viewing of it, I wasn't bored. And that's because Claire Denis found a way to either make the pacing of the film or simply the shots lively enough to carry me through. Like I said with Beau Travail and White Material, Denis likes to shoot in real locations, so that adds a layer of authenticity, and that also pulls you in. The first titular Stars at Noon scene, where both of our main characters are bathed in purple, is a beautiful moment that I enjoyed a lot, but it was almost too good in comparison to the other scenes that Margaret Qualley and Joe Alwyn have together, because besides this scene and their meet cute in the beginning of the film, they have almost no romantic chemistry, and their scenes together are mostly flaccid. And I don't think that's Margaret Qualley's fault. She is the best part about Stars at Noon, and if you need me to give you any reason to watch this film, it's 100% because of her. Because this is a great display of her talent that she's able to carry a charisma vacuum like Joe Alwyn. Apparently, Robert Pattinson was cast in his role, but he had to drop out for whatever reason, and according to Claire Denis, Joe Alwyn was cast like a week before shooting. I just don't find him interesting as a romantic lead. He's almost too conventionally beautiful to be a compelling screen presence, whereas Qualley has her tooth gap and she actually looks like a real person. But even beyond just surface level stuff like that you would care about in the casting process, I just haven't seen Joe Alwyn do anything that made me remember him for a positive reason in the other films I've seen him in. Maybe he hasn't been given a proper chance, but like, this film was that chance. And when I can't buy into one half of the romance, it really is a detriment to my enjoyment of a romance. This isn't a problem in another film I'm gonna talk about a couple of videos from now, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Again, Margaret Qualley is excellent here. She has this scene where she has to spit in this guy's face, and her scene partner, played by Danny Ramirez, has this ingenious improv moment because the spit doesn't land in the right way, and it really works for the context of the scene, and he handled it like a pro. It's actually a really great showcase of improv acting that makes you like a film even more. If the film film you were watching was good. But unfortunately, besides that and some other things I mentioned previously in this video, there's not much here. Some people get shot to death and it looked and sounded incredibly authentic, which, going back to Denis wanting to shoot in real locations, is something I admire about her work. I just wish that the central romance here also had that same authenticity. As time goes on, I realize I have no real interest in returning to this film at all, and even though it's been almost a week at this point, I think that feeling is going to grow even more, and I don't think the 2 hour and 15-minute runtime is justified, and I'm giving Stars at Noon a 5 out of 10. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button if you agree or disagree, tell us in the comments, subscribe if you haven't already, share with your friends, do all the things, and the next film I'm reviewing is Tar, which has been getting a lot of buzz, and does it live up to the hype? Find out in the next video. Bye-bye!
You have to get past the Avengers and Marvel shit at some point, okay? Other people make movies.